to us. If not, listen to Q. Mr. Patterson, I know somebody's want to say something. Dr. Q, you want to ask a couple questions?
I just think the whole system is rigged because when like I said before the elections, I said how can I was telling Cody, matter of fact, I said how can they knock out the police commissioner because of his tax situation, but now you got the city council with a tax situation who should be city council president. And I don't know. She must have I just know I don't like him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, listen.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a double standard, but I think police commissioner D'Souza's tax situation was a little bit more in depth than what the Mosleys are going through right now. Now, don't get me wrong, the Mosleys could get to that point if the negligent behavior continues. But it does show signs, especially when it shows that this is consistent behavior. And if we're looking at, a family that's managing a $300,000 budget and still is able to manage to be subject to a tax lien that's higher than a lot of people make in Baltimore City, and we're looking at this is the man that we want representing our $3 billion budget. I think, stuff like that, it just really does a disservice to the city. But what we're also looking at is the education of voters. Now, I hate to sound like I don't want to sound like anything other than just being a realist. But our opponents really thrive on low information voters. They saw Mosby's on stage with Prince. Oh, that's the person I'm voting for. Or they saw them dancing at the Universal Circus. Oh, that's the person I'm voting for. People aren't really looking at the effects of our community with the policies that come with a lot of these politicians that we put into office. When we have politicians that are literally forcing businesses out, we're saying to our next generation or to our current generation that we don't deserve to have businesses and jobs in Baltimore City. When we're not looking at the policies of these politicians, we're saying, and they're constantly increasing the tax rate, we're saying we don't deserve to be homeowners in Baltimore City.
Jovani, I'm sorry to cut you off. We got callers on the line.
Okay.
Caller 1. Welcome to Baltimore Talking Live. Can I have your name and where you're calling from, please?
Yes, Bianchi. How you doing?
Hey, Bianchi.
Hey, sir. You got something to say, Bianchi?
Yeah, I was listening to this gentleman, and he's really dead on about the low information voters. And that's a plague. Mm-hmm. And that's something that not only are they low information voters on the candidates and the issues, but they don't understand how the system works. They don't have a knowledge about the U.S. Constitution or probably state constitutions. And that's something that should be done. Everyone should be able to go to a website like votesmart.org or Ballotpedia, type in the candidates, and click on their picture when it comes up and check out their positions, their speeches, where their funding is coming from. Because if you don't do that, you may be voting against your own core values and contributing to your own demise. So this gentleman is absolutely right.
Well, Piani, I mean, it's a challenge, especially me personally being conservative. It's a challenge because you can't force anyone to do anything, and what we have is a cultural acceptance of who they give us or who's popular. So, I mean, what we have is just a popularity contest based on who's coolest or who has the best dance moves or who can freestyle the best, especially in local politics. So we have to address the culture, but our educational system has removed things like civics for a reason. Learning the U.S. Constitution, kids don't even know the Pledge of Allegiance in second and third grade anymore. So understanding that you're part of a country, and these rights and these laws and legislation apply to you. I always say this: our school system is teaching kids to be activists instead of what it means to be an American. Our students know how to protest. They know how to make a sign and rally and get together and do all these things. But when the rubber meets the road and the legislation or the laws need to pass, our generations are very clueless. And it goes the same with the politicians that we elected and the people that we say we want to hold accountable. We have no basis to hold them accountable because we don't even know how the laws work.
You're absolutely right. And see, here's the thing. You're supposed to sit around the table with a group of people with a like agenda, like cause. And then you pick somebody to go to the State House or the Senate and Congress to run with your cause. And you've got to hold them accountable. In some of these cities, you have had one-party rule, like in St. Louis, for 49 years. And you know what? It looked like it, too. So I'm very happy to hear. And don't be discouraged when people call you all sorts of names and innuendo because you identify as being conservative. What's wrong with that? How old are you, young man?
And most black, I'm 34.
Well, you know what? You make me feel good. All the things I hear, that I have to frown on. Here's a 34-year-old. You're African American that know what's going on, and you're saying the right thing. You keep on doing that, and I guarantee you will be successful. You just keep on doing what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm gonna get him in the man seat.
Pardon me?
I'm gonna get him in the man seat. This nonsense ain't gonna go on.
Hey, how
there
did that lady do? How did Kim do?
She crashed and burned.
Yeah.
Quasi and Flume won.
She was running against him? That long-term NAACP head rag?
People vote on what's familiar. I didn't vote for Kwesi because Kwesi had a chance to do the job or become famous. He left the job so he can run for NAACP. So if you turned your back on me once, that means you're going to turn your back on me again. So I didn't vote for him.
Well, that NAACP, like on issues like school choice, and we know what the present traditional school system like. But if people want to stay there, fine. But those that have the gumption, they should be able to take their child someplace else. But that NAACP is totally viciously against that. And that is a shame.
It's sad to see like how far NAACP has come from its roots. Especially the things that we're able to get done, early on in its existence versus, kind of what's being pushed now. It's supposed to be a nonpartisan organization, but it seems like all the views and the discussion lean one way. So. To me, it's sad.
Well, it has a pretty good judicial wing when you need it, but the rest of it is toxic. I'll give you an example. In the state of Missouri, they issued a travel warning. People traveling through Missouri and say you take a chance of being, now listen to this, shot by white police. Well, okay. Well, look what the heck is going on in Chicago. You done had over 2,700 black males shot and kids that's been shot by others, 2,738 with 395 murders. Where's the travel warning for people that's traveling through Chicago, NAACP?
Oh, man. It's not there.
It's not there. Your chances of getting shot walking the street or sitting on your porch is greater than winning the Illinois state lottery. And then if you did win, they wouldn't be able to pay you. I see where one of their valid issues for a tax rate that's specific to certain areas rather than one clean across the board went down in flames. So people have to vote their values. And I think one of the problems I see in amongst black society is education, which equates to economics. And I think if you ever got them young people, those that stand a chance and have the innate ability to prepare themselves for high-paying wage and salary jobs, then you would see a whole different philosophy and ideology coming out of them because now they have something to lose in case they vote for the wrong person. I'm going to get back and continue to listen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What do you bring?
Dr. Q. Oh, okay. We talk about a lot of topics today. What about jobs? Increase between industries, locating jobs in the city, via school, and also internships, also work shadowing, which I didn't hear about this.
We want a good question. We almost out of time. We want to know what's next for you. Do you give up?
What's next for me? To be honest, I'm still basking in the moment right now, but we've been doing a lot of reflection and understanding where we have to hit. And, kind of how I alluded to before, our biggest challenge, our biggest obstacle is voter education. So how do we educate the voters moving forward? How do we, again, win a popularity contest? How do we make conservatism cool? So these are the questions that I'm starting now to ask of how do we brand that in Baltimore City? So we're going to be doing some more voter engagement, some more. We'll be getting out there. We'll be, pounding the pavement again. Now, I don't know if I'm going to run for office or what office I'll be running for in the future. However, I'm not, just hiding back in the shadows at this point. We've already started making moves towards building the conservative brand, making it cool again. I mean, we're trying to bring industries into Baltimore. I mean, we're working on a free Wi-Fi project right now as well. So there's things that, we're working on so we can be visible and present as a viable option. Now, here's the thing. I mean, it's not that Democrats won't vote Republican, because what we see in this particular election, and this is one of the lessons learned, at least for me, is that so far we have about 40,000 votes. There are only about 30,000 registered Republicans inside of Baltimore City, and usually only half of them vote. So we're looking at about 15,000 registered Republicans that possibly voted for Jovani Patterson for City Council President. So that means about 25,000 came from Democrats and Independents, right? So there's room here for growth. It's just a matter of engagement. Because when's the last time you heard of the Baltimore City Republican Party doing anything meaningful? And that's where it starts. So we're getting out there, and this isn't the last you hear from Jovani Patterson. This is the last you're hearing from the conservative brand. We're just going to be making moves pretty soon.
Well,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the bottom of our show now, so tell everybody where they can reach you and contact you.
Yes, I'm still Jovani Patterson on Facebook, so you can look up Jovani Patterson. My campaign page is still up, so Jovani Patterson for Baltimore City Council President. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mr. JP is great, so that's MRJPISGREAT. And also, if you're on Parler now, so that's going to be the new platform, I am JP4B More. So at JP, the number 4, B More on Parler. So that's where you can find me, man.
All right. Anything you want to say before you go?
No, I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you guys tonight. It's always an honor to to speak live on air and with people that want to listen. And I